3 of his previous sessions, and I think for me it's just one of those tunes that you know, and it came to Adam Glass's lesson. One of the things that he said, which I think is one of the most basic things when you are trying to vary a basic tune, is to actually know what the original tune sounds like. And I think it's I'd be surprised if anyone here hasn't heard the Ray version of the song. And also it's quite slow, so it's you know, there's no fast notes, and you can sort of take your time over whilst you're playing it. And how we're going to do it today is going to use a C harmonica and do it in D minor, which is 3rd position. Now I don't want to go into any of the theory. Just accept we're doing it in D minor and we're using a C harmonica, and then ask questions. About it, if you play it in 3rd position, play it in the top, and then in the middle, and then the bottom. You miss a note there, but generally it's quite good, because if you're playing more than one loop and you haven't quite got those variations, you could actually do 2 or 3 of the in a different octave, and it would sound different. How I'm going to do this? Let me share my screen. This has to work now. Come on. There we go. Okay. Does that look? Can everyone see that?
No.
I can't see anyone now.
Top little bit.
If you just use the chat. Can you see that?
Half of it.
Yes.
Can you see the whole of it?
No.
It might be because you haven't got your window on fully maximized.
No.
So if you're on a Mac, you need to press.
I'm not on a Mac.
Button, and
it's not like Sam, it's your display.
If you're be a little, probably in your top right corner to expand it.
It's your screen share properties, Sam. It's not that. I'm getting that as well. So it's your screen share.
So sorry, I missed that, Trevor. Can you say again, please?
I'm saying I'm getting that as well. I'm only seeing the top 2 lines of music, so it's your screen sharing. There's an option up the top, I think, which just allows you to share in different ways.
Right. As I say, it's going to be one of those, isn't it?
I haven't got it at all now.
How's that?
That's the same. I mean, as long as you scroll up and down, we can still follow the music, okay?
Right, okay. Tell me when you can see the word summertime.
Yes, it's in the middle now.
Is it lower?
It's going lower now, yeah. So
right.
Top 2 lines of music are visible now.
Right. Not quite sure what's going on there.
That's reduced. We can see more of the screen now. You've just reduced it down, so.
But the side's missing now.
You've cropped the side now.
Okay.
We've got the top 4 lines now, so.
Right. Okay. So you can't see the full.
No, but I think any more lower than that, and then the definition of the screen will get less. So, especially with my iffy eyesight.
Right. Okay. Well, so you can't see the top of the screen. So the tab notation we use is the one that I've used previously. So a +6 is a blow on hole 6. For example, a minus is like a draw, so -5. The sort of double speech mark indicates a double bend on, and I've said draw hole 3, which is what we'll be using here. If you can, if you can't, it's not a problem. And then the single sort of apostrophe thing is a single draw bend on hole 6. Now, I'm getting a sign saying my internet connection's unstable, so it's all going wrong today. So what I thought I'd do is if I were to play through sort of the basic tune, and then sort of put some, and then for one loop, and then for the second loop, I'll sort of embellish it just to sort of, and it'll be based on the original tune. Start off with a very basic tune, and then start doing little bits and bobs to make it a little bit sound a little bit different. So if let's play my track here then, okay. Right. Okay, so you get the gist of that. Let me just
No sound.
Yeah, he's frozen. I think his internet connection's a bit iffy today. We've lost him.
It was all going so well.
No any good jokes.
Yeah, well, knock, knock.
Strange, because my connection's been up and down the last couple of days since we had the rain started. So I don't know if we got a damp cable somewhere, you know, outside the BT line. But
easy done.
Yeah.
Oh well, what else would you be doing this afternoon? No Wimbledon, no cricket, no sunshine.
yeah, well.
You can see it.
I like what he was doing with the second bit. That what we could hear from it. It sounded nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, way ahead of me.
So Sam Williamson is the host now on my. Oh, it's popped off again now. So I don't know. Oh, there he is. He's come back.
Yeah.
Sam, you're muted.
If your connection's a bit bad, sometimes the audio's the last thing to come through. So.
All right.
Okay.
Hooray!
You're live.
Hooray! Well done. Well done.
That's Virgin blinking Wi-Fi for you. Always blame it on Virgin. Okay, right. Let me just. We've lost quite a bit of time now, so I'll. Did you hear any of that playing that I did at all, or was it all in vain?
Yeah, the it was coming and going, but the second variation sounded really lovely.
Oh, right, okay.
Hear from it. So maybe you could start from there.
Yeah, the idea of that was just to show going from basic to a little bit of a variation. So I'm just really aware of the time now. So I'm going to try and share that. Typically that document's now disappeared. Oh dear. It's just turning into.
You need a haircut, Sam. That's all.
I need a good hair. I know.
So do I. Get one later off me, missus. Your strength will come back.
Well, I was going to ask my daughter to do it, but I gave her a bit of a mod cut when she was about 5, so I just wouldn't trust her.
A mod cut.
Very high fringe.
It couldn't be any worse than mine, Sam.
Yours looks brilliant. Right, can you see that now?
Yes.
So you can see can you see the whole of that now?
Yeah.
We got the pages on the left as well, the PowerPoint bit pages type things.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Your whole numbers are good for a G harp.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's based on an A minor tuning. I'd hope no one would have noticed that. But if you play it on a G harp, then if you can read music, then that'll be spot on. That would work. Trying to get rid of those. Right, can you still see the main bit then? This bit in the middle.
4 lines.
Right. Okay.
5. See it all now.
You can see it all. Okay.
No, see it all.
Okay. I've got Paul saying, "Can we get the tabs for this?" The answer is yes, and you'll be able to see the whole document. So if I start, do we just want to go through each line?
Sam, on the bit on the left-hand side, if you look at the top, there's a cross.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
God, what would I do without you, Trevor?
Well, I don't know. Send your money to the normal Swiss bank.
Will do. If we want to whiz through this first little bit, so if everyone mutes themselves, and what's quite nice is there's lots of repetition. So the first 2 little phrases are actually repeated. So there's not as much to learn. So that's just draw 6, draw 5, draw 6. Which fairly straightforwards. Everyone all right with that? Yeah. And then the next bit, it's mainly draw notes, but there's that blow 6 in there. But once you get over the little change from blow 6, then from the ving of living then goes down just as draw notes. So you got then. If you can do the draw 3 double bend, then go for it. But if not, don't worry, because it sort of sounds okay without it. So you got okay, and then the second bit, the Fisher jumping, is the same as the first bit. So okay, so that's pretty much the same. Oh no, sorry, they're blow 6s rather than draw. So you got, and then you got this nice little bit here, which so oscillates between the holes 5 and 4 draw. So you got, then it ends on the 5. So that's a. Okay, and then your daddy's rich bit, that is similar to the original summertime bit, but down here you can see that the daddy's rich is sort of broken up into 3. So you'll have, well, your daddy's rich, and then mama's good looking is the same as, and the living is easy. Okay, so that's that. Blow 6, draw 5, blow 6. Sorry, I've said that wrong. All right, it's blow 6, draw 5, blow 6, draw 6, and that nice little rundown again of draw notes. So you got your. And let's say if you can't get that 3 bend, don't worry about it. And then this last little bit, again, if you can't do the draw double bend, I've just put in brackets just like an alternative. So normally it would sound like. If you did it, so. It still sounds fine. It's, you know, it's you're guessing the sort of the essence of the tune. And the last bit is, so again, it's things are mainly on the draw notes, and you've got, I think you've got a 4, 5, and a 6 blow. So apart from the 3 double draw bend, it's fairly, if you go through it slowly, you'll be able to, you know, probably in no time at all, get your head around that. If you've got the tab in front of you, you'll pick that up very quickly. So are there any volunteers who would like to go through and sort of play to everyone else? It'll have to be without the backing track. Anyone at all? Right, okay. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay. You might get a few fluffed notes.
Well, I did it, so.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
Here we go.
Well done. Very good. and it just shows that my tab is right then. Anyone else like a try, or should we move on? Just unmute your mic because I can't see everyone. No? Okay, we'll move on. Now, what I wanted to do was start talking about some variations, and the first thing you can do is vary the timing. Now, if you were here with Lee Sankey a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about how changing the timing can just make very subtle changes can change the song and just change the whole atmosphere of the song. And I think what I'd say is it can introduce a sort of an unpredictability because everyone else knows the tune so well. If you're going to play something later or earlier, people will say, "Oh, right, okay, well that sounds different." So I suppose in the jazz sense, it's that they talk about tension and release. So perhaps it's along those sorts of lines. So what I've done here is can you see my crosshairs going across the screen? Just a thumbs up. Yeah, okay. The left arrow is saying let's play this earlier, and the right arrow is playing later. So if I take each arrow one at a time, so if you count in with the start of the song, you've got 1, 2, 3, summertime. Okay, so you're coming in on the 4th beat. Now, what I suggest here is not necessarily try and play your harp and then using the tab and then trying to think, oh, right, I've got to play that sooner. It might be easier if you just sing it, or if you're not confident of singing with your mic muted, then just sort of say it. But these variations are just examples. So rather than, if we count the beats to where that summer bit starts, you've got 1, 2, 3, and it comes in on the 4th. So you've got summertime, and the time goes on the first beat of the next bar. Okay. So then, with where I put the arrow, if we bring that summer a little bit further forwards, so rather than starting it on the 4th beat of the bar, I'm going to bring it forwards to the 3rd beat of the bar. So it'd be 1, 2, summertime. So see that there's just like a really little subtle difference there. So you're going from summertime to summertime. So you can sort of, if you were to speak it in that way, you'd be emphasizing summertime. That's probably going a bit too thumping your fists on the table is probably going a bit too far. But okay, so that's the first one. And again, I think it's probably easy if I just run through these, bearing the time that we have, and in your own time, you could then sort of sing those bits in your head, and then mimic what you've done. So I'll do that in one of the little bits later on. Actually, the singing and then mimicking, because that really does. That sort of gets into your head. First of all, you've got that tune in your head, and then you've got the tab in front of you that then you can sort of translate into what you're playing on the harmonica. Now, this next arrow. So each of these arrows, they're in their own right. So I'm ignoring that first arrow now, and then we're looking at this second arrow. So if we do the counts again, normally you've got 1, 2, 3, summertime. So that comes in on the first beat of the bar. The time comes in on the first beat of that bar. So then if we push it back, then again it creates that little bit of, oh right, that came in a little bit late. That's a bit different. So if I was to sing that as in 1, 2, 3, summer time. So put that on the second beat of the bar. Now there's no rules. You could put it on the third beat of the bar, and I say I'm not very good at reading music, and as Pete said, this is actually not for D minor, but all I wanted was something where, just to give you an idea, where where the words are and where I can put the tabs. So don't worry about that. But one of the basics, one of the things that I know about music is this little area here are rests. So you've got quite a lot of time to play around with that. So you might want to leave it really late by doing 1, 2, 3, summer time. I mean, that's probably far too long, but just to illustrate that you've actually got that time to do that. Is that okay? I'm just having a look at some of the questions. Getting technical now. Well, Doug, wait till you listen to Marcin. That's what I'm going to say. Not many crotchets. All right, okay. Let's go to this one here then. And the living is easy. So normally it's 1, and the living is easy. Timing on that wasn't quite right near the end. But if you then just push that easy bit back, and again, you can do that because we've got lots of space. So we could do, for example, and the living is easy. So then I'm doing that about, I think it's two beats of the bar later. So so again, it gives that feeling of the tension and release type thing, because the audience know what's meant to be happening. You're sort of keeping them on tenterhooks and say, well, look, I'll go and get myself a kebab, and then I'll do easy. So that's does that all make sense so far? Yeah. So I may as well just run through these bits here, and I think this one here I can demonstrate this one on the harp once I've sort of sung the rhythm. So it's normally fish are jumping, 2, 3, 4, 1, and the cotton is high. Okay. Apologies for my singing. But then if we look at if we throw cotton is high a little bit further, or do it a little bit later, again that's that sort of tension and release type thing. So you could do, and this is where, I mean, I haven't really practiced this, so I'm going to do the cotton is high in my head and then reproduce it on the harmonica. And what's quite nice about cotton is high, we've got that -4, -3, -4, -5, sorry, yeah, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5 draw, and then it goes on to the 5. So you can, so so if we do fit, and the cotton is, no, I've done that wrong. Sorry, let's start again. Fish are jumping, 3, 4, and the cotton is high, something like that. So I could do. So it was along those lines. I don't think it was actually spot on, but and the cotton is high. So I'll try that now. But you could just do it as a. So that's another variation of putting those extra little notes in as well. But we're going to look at a few little variations later on. Okay, so that's probably quite a good little one to have to play around with, perhaps first, or well, actually probably the first one's probably the easiest one to do, and then that's quite a nice little one to to sort of go across holes 4 and holes 5 draw. I haven't done anything with Daddy's Rich. With And Your Mama's Good Looking, I'm going to try and bring that all forwards. So we'd have your daddy's rich. Well, your daddy's rich. Sorry. And your mama's good looking, rather than and your mama's good looking. It's and your mama's good looking. Let's say that's just one way of doing it, you know. Rather than and again, you can change that up however you want to do that. Or you might want to do it on mama rather than your. Sorry. So again, that's just another idea. And if we go down to hush, oh God, I've only got 8 minutes left. So again, this is pushing it later. So normally it's so hush, hush, little baby. So, whereas you can push it back to so hush, little baby. So you're actually compressing that little phrase by playing that. I think it was a beat later. One. So hush, little baby. That's the normal, and then we've got one. So hush, little baby. So again, that's another little thing you can do. You know, you might want to do it on little or baby. Just have a play around with what you want to do. But as I say, if you sing it first. And then try and mimic what you're doing on the harmonica, and it'll sort of come to you. And I think that also trains your brain in knowing what the notes are, and then being able to translate that onto the harmonica. And this last one here, Don't You Cry. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Sorry, that's a bit high for me. Again, you've got all these rests at the end. So why not use that space? So you might want to do, I'll do it octave lower. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. And I think that was about three beats later. So again, just have a play around with those timings. Sing along to the track, and listen. I mean, I've listened to sort of based a lot of my stuff on the Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald version, and it's a wonderful version. You've got Louis Armstrong sort of growling little words in the background, so it's actually quite funny to listen to as well. So moving on. Sorry, this is all a bit quick. I think I'll leave this one out actually. I can just talk through it quickly. So we can play the normal tune with a normal rhythm, but rather than doing what I've done there is I've put a little line under some of the notes, and the idea there is to scoop up using a bend into that note. So it would sound something like, so you compare that to sort of more soulful. How are people with draw 6 bends? I say I can only see a handful of people. Are they? Yeah, Trevor can get that. Do you want to give us a blast, Trevor, just with that? No, okay, you don't want to. That's fine. And then we've got with the Living Is Easy. So I exaggerated that. I put the I made those notes a little bit longer so you could hear the scoop coming up. And again, there's probably no reason why we can't put a bend on that one. Yeah, we could do that. But the thing with hole 3 as well, I think what's quite good about this particular part of the exercise is that hole 3, because you got 3 bend notes on it, it's quite difficult to get that, what they call the embouchure, you know, the shape of your mouth, to get those bends. No. So I'm throwing 3 bends in there. So if you were to do it, you can actually start that on hole 3, actually. So if you did, and then using hole 3 is to bend down. So that's, you know, that's like a little exercise in its own right to get that to work through hole 3 no bend, hole 3 1 bend, hole 3 2 bend. It's starting to sound like Batman now. Okay, so then there's not much going on here. Well, your daddy is rich. So compare that with, and the fact that those 3 notes are the same. Da, 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 it's quite nice. I think it's quite nice to break it up. Sorry, I'm putting a little bit of vibrato on that, so that's not fair. Okay, and then we've got the same as and the living is easy, isn't it? Yeah. So you got, okay. Okay. And then I'll miss out those double 3 draw bends and just use you just use the 4s. So you'd have the Hush Little Baby. So you'd have, and it's just that one little bend, the baby, the. Okay, and this is one of my favourite bends, the whole 6 bend. It's like that's like quite a bluesy sort of sound. And then on the last note, you can really milk it like a. That's probably been a bit too cheeky, really. Okay, any questions on that one? Like I say, I'm aware. Okay, I can go through the next exercise really quickly, and if I play this, and if when this goes live, I'll you can listen along to it. So what I've done is I've just used the same tune, but varied some of the notes, just to give it a bit of a variation. So I'll just play through it, and I think we're going to have to stop then. Oh, actually, right, yeah, no, that's fine. So you got. this is where you can really milk it. So all I've done there is just played around with the tune, and some of these I have nicked from Ella Fitzgerald, the Well Your Daddy's Rich bit. So again, that's just a little variation, and there's this nice little bit here that's a little bit cheeky. That it's easier to play than it probably looks. So you go. And all I'm doing is going from the hole 4 up to the hole 5, hole 6, missing hole 7 and playing hole 8. So, okay. And you can use that as a slide. So hole 7 sounds a little bit funny when we're playing in what we call the third position. So we always try and avoid hole 7, but you can sort of slide past it. So it's if I play that really slowly, you can hear that hole 7. See it? But if you play it fast, you just can't hear that at all. Okay, any questions there? Because I'm really gonna have to finish so that Martin can start on time. Okay, when I make this available, this PDF, what I've also done as well is to put it at the higher octave, which even though it sounds shrill, and again you might want to try that on a lower harmonica, so that your neighbours don't start throwing things at the windows. There's actually no bends on there at all, so so it's quite like I say, you wouldn't want to hear that over and over, but that is quite that's quite an easy one to learn, because it's don't worry about any bends at all. And again, you know, once you've got once you've learned in the different octaves, then you can mix those up. But again, not looking at that today. And then the lower octave, that's a little bit more tricky, because you're actually starting here on bends. So it's a double bend on 3, double bend on 2. So someone's saying that the sound has gone. Can you still hear me? You hear me? Yeah. Okay. And it is it's quite tricky to start a note in bent position. Okay, you haven't got that note on the harmonica, so that's pretty much it, I think. I mean, you know, again, just use these tabs just to go through. Try different harmonicas. When I first started playing Summertime, I played it on where are we? I played it on a G harmonica. So you, or and the top, when you play it at the top, it doesn't sound as shrill. So again, fiddle around with, you know, play around with different harmonicas. And I got, what have I got there? Low C, which obviously is an octave lower. Then the lower octave would be, oh, hang on. No, getting bends on low harmonicas is a challenge. So I'm going to stop there now. So any questions over that, or comments or anything, just unmute yourselves, and I'll just stop sharing this now.